But what does integrity mean to you?
It means that you're always honest about what you do, and your actions, the things you say, have good morals and meanings behind them.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good definition. So for me, a part of honesty is not necessarily what the person wants to hear. Because if integrity is about being honest with strong moral principles, then I feel like I've done nothing but that.
I'm not
So
questioning your integrity.
no, not necessarily, but you're alluding to it.
No, I'm talking about more disrespect. That was the part that hurt the most. I said.
Well, when it comes to disrespect, like I said, think about how I feel. Okay, put yourself in my shoes. What officer who's a non-captain, not who's not a captain, not actually, you know what? I was gonna say not a captain, not a senior. I'll take it back. Which officer who is not a captain has done, you know, this is not like a damn ego thing or whatever, but it's just a by the numbers on paper, all that shit, right? Whatever you want to say. Who has done more for the department who is not a captain other than myself?
And why do you think I fall for you?
No, I understand that. I personally believe that you believe that. But
I've seen it. I've experienced it. I've seen what you do. I've seen the blood, sweat, and tears. I've seen it, Cletus. You and I and a few officers used to carry this shift all the time. It used to be a battle, right? And you were there every single day, 15 plus hours, helping out, answering calls, taking down statements, helping out. I don't forget that. I don't forget and forgive and just move on, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, just because you've done that doesn't mean you're immune to punishment or consequences, right?
No, I understand that as well. But when you're going back to integrity, and then when you ask me what happened in that situation, and I tell you, I feel like I acted in the best possible way. If I acted in the best possible way for that situation, I don't think it's reasonable to be reprimanded for it when somebody else is lying. The Brian Knott thing pissed me the hell off because we had two statements from me and Aziz that said the truth, and then one statement from Brian Knott, who's never here, never on duty, doesn't understand the culture of the PD, doesn't understand the strife that maybe myself and other people feel, and he's just saying some bullshit, right? Now maybe some shit happened and he misconstrued it, but it was clarified, you know. He couldn't even put in his statement that, hey, this is what I heard. I then spoke with them after the fact, and they clarified that this is what they meant, and they said that that's not how I perceived it, or how I perceived it wasn't what they were trying to say. He could have just said that. He could have been honest. He could have had integrity, but no, he chose to give us the whole runaround, make us do a whole dog and pony show for 5 hours.
He was punished. Cletus, like I said, I don't want to dig up the past because we can sit here and talk about it for hours. You and I, especially, we spent 4 hours talking about it, remember? On the rooftops?
Yeah.
Like I said, ever since that day, things have not been the same. And I'm approaching you because, like I said, I have a lot of respect for you. But at the same time, I was hurt. I'm coming to you as a friend to talk to you about this because at the end of the day, I do believe that this police department needs you. But at the same time, this police department needs a Cletus Cornwood that can be a leader as well. That can be the bigger man. That can be the voice of reason. That can be the guy that can galvanize everybody behind a good cause, right? And push us in the right direction. Because you have that senior experience. Because you've been through it 23 years in law enforcement, like you said, right?
Right.
And that's what I want. Because right now, we're in a state of emergency as far as the LSPD. We got the mayor selecting, a commissioner, or maybe a chief of police now, right? And things are about to change. Maybe for the better, maybe for the worse. You need people to rise during this time to help out, to make sure that people are not panicking, people are not confused, and we can still go through this together. There's a time and place for what you're saying, and I do believe in that. And I want to make sure that we're having fun. And I want to make sure that we're having a good time. And I want to make sure that being on duty, feels refreshing, feels energizing. Feels like we're actually making a difference out there, and we're battling crime every single day. I want that. I want that for everybody. I want patrol to be like that, and to be as close as well.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, and I believe in that. But like I said, I honestly don't know where I stand as a part of the PD right now. And
you're one
look,
of us.
I've talked to people.
You're one of us, Liz. You're one of us. And just like I said, go ahead. I don't interrupt you. Go ahead.
So, my point being is, if you're me, put yourself in my shoes, and you're Cletus Cornwood, and you have given every single second of every single thing that you have to this PD and this city and everything over the course of the last, I don't know how many days now, 2.5 months almost. And then when you hear from 2 people that the captains are trying to push a murder charge on you, that doesn't feel very good. They're like,
is that the truth? Is that the truth though? Do you truly believe we wanted to pursue a charge on you?
If Rami had told me that alone, it would have been one thing, but I heard it from Malton as well.
Malton said that to you?
Yeah.
And what is Malton? What,
the head of the bar.
I figured out Lance Malton pretty well. You don't think he's playing politics?
I mean, he's the head of bar.
He got so much power and permission to go through all our filing cabinets and to be in charge of this audit, okay? He's got personal gain in this whole thing, right, as well, too. And he's getting paid on top of it.
Yeah. But, I mean, you also have to keep in mind, I know you don't know him, but Lance Malton, he's been a part of this PD longer than I have.
I understand that, but I know his personality. He likes to stir, and he's tried to stir multiple times. You know what he told me? You want to hear what he told me, actually, Cletus? And keep this between us. He said to me that it'd be a lot easier if I just fired you and then charged you right away because you don't have that immunity on the docket. That's what he recommended to me. It would be pretty funny, he said.
Malton said that.
Oliver Hall was there as well, if you don't believe me. I'm just saying, everybody's playing this game as well, Cletus. And I want you to understand, you're being weaponized in so many different ways. I hope you understand it. I hope that some folks that are whispering things in your ears, some of them are good. They have good intentions, and some have bad intentions because sometimes they just want to see chaos or they have personal gain in the matter.
Okay, so what personal gain do you think people have? What do you think people have told me to get a personal gain on their end?
I'll use the mayor, who has apologized about everything so far, and I'm like I said, I'm willing to work with him, but I'm gonna use this as an example, okay? When we met at the captain's office, right, and how everything went down, and he was so mad at us, okay? At that point, from my perspective, that's when things started getting plot, and that's when complaints and things he was hearing from you and other officers are being weaponized to push a new PD legislation, because he didn't see eye to eye with the other captains as well, and that's what I believe started the whole thing, and that's how we got here. Now,
yeah, but here's the thing. You have to keep in mind that that's not when it started. This shit started like a month and a half ago.
I'm talking about the PD legislation, the new commissioner thing, and the mayor being charged with the PD. I'm talking about all that, right? That started probably the past maybe 2-3 weeks, I would say. Probably start around there.
Okay, so that started way before that.
So you've been talking to the mayor for a month about this?
Yeah, over a month. Because I know the guy, because we ran against each other for mayor.
Right, but what I'm talking about leadership. I'm talking about complaints within the chain of command. That was being brought up a month ago?
Oh no, none of that. What was brought up was I mean, hell, I dropped out of the election. Because I had faith that we had Max Thoroughbred, that we had Michael Simone, and I believe that there was another guy I didn't really know, but I think he got a decent amount of votes. But honestly, I think Bilbus would have made for a good mayor. I think Stelio would have done well as well.
Yeah, Stelio got caught with a PD gun. God damn it.
And now I'm like, I don't know how the hell he got a PD gun.
Yeah, things can change in Los Angeles pretty quick. One day you're running for election, next day you're spending a year. Federal time feels like a day. Federal time in a penitentiary.
Yeah. So, My point is,
please, we're talking about different things, right? I'm talking about leadership. I'm talking about wanting maybe you know, certain folks gone in certain positions. Okay, I'm talking about that, Cletus.
sure.
Like I said, some of the things you're bringing up were valid, and where they're being investigated. I mean, there's an audit team, right? There's an audit team going through every single shift and talking to every single officer, right? And we've told everybody, be honest and open. Don't hide anything, right? How else are we going to improve if we don't get the right feedback, right? How else are we going to grow as a police department if we don't learn from what we're doing wrong and do better?
I mean, what are you implying? You're implying that if I'm not around...
I'm implying that your complaints you're talking about, we'll find out. You know, I'm not really we'll find out, but I'm saying that there'll be other folks that can support your claim as well. I'm saying that I understand you as far as what you're saying in regards to certain things that are happening in PD. I understand that, right? The things you're complaining about.
Have you gotten any sort of update on the audit at all?
I believe they're going to present the evidence to the mayor on Saturday.
Okay. What did they bring to you?
Well, I mean, I would assume I would get a copy afterwards, or the mayor would come to me and tell me what happened. That's kind of my thought process. I mean, I'm not sure how this thing is going to go down afterwards. I'm playing by ear.
Okay. So, I mean, I just want you to understand how I felt, because I feel like you don't understand how I feel in that scenario.
You felt maybe what, betrayed, wronged, tossed aside, made an example out of?
I don't think I was made an example out of, because I don't think anybody else is going to have a murder charge pressed on them by captains.
But the captains weren't pressing the charge, though.
So why was I hearing that?
Like I explained to you, people like to spin false narrative to justify what they say, and again, a telephone happens as a result. Come to the source.
Right,
can
but
talk
when
to
we
me.
were, but
Ask
when
me
we
that
were
question.
outside,
Ask me that question.
Which one?
Are the captains pursuing charges on Cletus Cornwood?
Okay. Is anybody pursuing murder charges on Cletus Cornwood?
I don't know. That's my answer. I have an attorney that, who was supposed to be an independent prosecutor, who misunderstood what I said, and go to the mayor and sign an affidavit so I can be put on full blast and bend over backwards in front of everybody. I mean, I believe he probably could have broke maybe attorney-client privilege. I'm not sure. There's a hearing on Sunday for his, bar complaint.
You put in a bar complaint to him?
I went to Malton, yes, because the conversation we had, okay, as far as what we transpired, was signed to an affidavit and said out loud in front of everybody at your panel.
Do you want to know why Arthur did that?
I'm assuming the mayor had to do something with it. I mean, who else can convince him?
Have you asked him?
I have not, because I'm not trying to dig an old wound. And then, like I said, I pass the responsibility to head a bar. It's not my, jurisdiction. Just like if they come down and make a complaint officer, right? The same kind of way. I got too much on my plate.
What is Arthur's name?
Cladhammer? Coldhammer? Something like that.
Yeah, Arthur Coldhammer. So about a month and a half ago, when Arthur was new to this city, he was working as a legal aid for Xavier Monroe. And when he was here with Xavier as a legal aid, and he came down in the cells, I treated him really good, treated him with respect, as if he was a lawyer. You know, not you see some other legal aids, and they're kind of tossed to the side, and they're just kind of shadowing, and nobody really talks to them, and they just kind of stand there and observe.
Right. Okay.
So I treated him real well. I treated him with respect as a human being.
That's how he's willing to do that job.
He's just like anybody else here. I don't care what his job is, but he's here, and we treat him like so. About a week and a half after that, I see Arthur running along the south side, south of Mosley's or something. I don't remember. But I see him running around the south side, and I'm like, what the hell is Arthur Coleman doing out there running on the sidewalk, right, adjacent to Grove Street? So I go and I pull over. I turn back around. I pull over, and I say, Arthur, and he stops. And if I remember right, he didn't say anything for like 2 or 3 seconds, and turned around and looks at me like he's in trouble, like I was gonna get him for something. And I tell him, Arthur, what are you doing down here? He's like, oh, he's just running, trying to get to where he needs to go. And I tell him to hop in. And I said, you need to go to City Hall. You need to check in for work. he said, actually, yeah, I do. So I took him all the way to City Hall, and I dropped him off. I told him to have a nice day, and, you know, we'll see you soon. Simple, right? The night that this whole thing went down, Arthur put in a statement and all that, and he came and he told me and said, when I realized what was going on, and I saw that this was being done to Cletus Cornwood, who was
Why take the case?
first and only police officers
Say no, I'm not taking the case.
to not only remember his name,
I want my money back.
but treat him with respect and go out of his way to help him out when he absolutely did not need to. There is no way in hell that I could, in good faith, look at what was being asked of me and move on it.
I totally understand that, but why would he brought new charges? I'm so confused when it comes to this, okay, Cletus, because he was the one that proposed a new charges for the incident. As an independent prosecutor, him and legal aid, they said that they want to go for assault with deadly weapon and criminal use of firearm. Arthur was saying desecration of human body and murder, right? And I was so confused when he brought this up because, like I said, I did not want to influence anything. The captains did not want to have an influence. What's going on?
I'm sorry to intrude. I got a quick question.
What's going on?
Did you guys hear any gunshots in the area?
No.
Did you discharge your firearms at all?
No, not at all.
No.
Where?
Wait, we got about 5-6 downed individuals potentially shot up down the street from us here.
Locals or civilians?
I'm not sure. Viv is there with Trig. I'm en route right now.
Let's go. Sounds like an emergency.
You guys got there, but okay.